Hello folks, I'm OdinSpack, and welcome back to Let's Play Ring Fit Adventure. Today is day 24, and through the magic of editing, I unfortunately have to present this one to you in post-narration, and we'll get into that after I read off some of the stuff here. So yep, still up for day 24. Do you ever think back to when you first started exercising? Have the various exercises gotten any easier for you? They don't feel like they're still hard. I would say they're a little bit easier. Good, I'm proud of you for setting up your routine. Sometimes your body gets used to an exercise. We call this a plateau. There's some things you can do about it though. One is to increase the difficulty level. The other is to try a mode you don't often do to work on different muscles. And note, we'll keep the difficulty like this, and we'll get our stretch going on, but as I said, this is post-narration, so now this is going to feel really weird going through like that. But last time, we finished up the rest of the requests for World 7, and we got a brief little sneak peek into World 8 here. This land is plagued by a never-ending rain formed by the tears of a goddess called Solar Plexia, who should be bringing nothing but sunny days to her people. Perhaps you can help? Well, we'll try our best. So in order to get to the town where our next information is, we can either go up into a regular stage, or we can go down to this game gym. So I think it's our first diverging path where we can choose a stage to do instead of later on when you can just do optional stages. So this is kind of cool. So we're gonna do Crate Crasher and attempt to get this watercress recipe. Crate Crasher is a really weird one for me because much like Fan Smack, it feels like the ring con just doesn't accurately respond to this one. But this minigame is a lot more forgiving than Fan Smack, where you can kind of just slam in on the ring con and it's fine. Maybe just the amount of time using this, maybe possible Joy-Con drift, or maybe gyro just inside the Joy-Cons themselves have made this a little more difficult. But this is mostly just me complaining about it, really. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of this minigame because it's really just pressing in on the ring con a whole bunch. And the last 10 seconds here, it's basically just oh, aim at the right one, kind of hope it's in a good spot so you can get a high score. Not enough for an S rank, but we already have the S rank for this, so that's not really a huge issue, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, we did the game gym, and now we're going to get our watercress recipe, which is going to unlock 2 smoothies here, Cress Smoothie and Super Cress. These are both just healing smoothies. Super Cress is just a little bit better than the regular Cress in just healing properties. So here we have Drench Trench, not very long estimated time. Wants us to use yoga exercises, so I think all I did here was switch out Ring Raise combo for Warrior 2 pose. And now I'm going to talk about why I'm post-narrating this as opposed to doing this live like I normally do. Something weird just happened when I was recording this, that while I was running, my microphone must have just been banging against my headset or something, because all you can just hear is smack, 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 over and over and over again. And that has not happened in the 24 parts that I've done of this. I mean, well, sorry, it did. It did happen in part 24, this one, day 24. But, the previous 23 days it did not happen. Sometimes you'll hear, you'll hear me breathing a lot. I mean, I'm working out a bunch. That's just what happens. You'll hear me on, the floor. You'll hear maybe creaks in the floor. You'll hear all that kind of stuff. But nothing what happened. I hope it didn't happen in day 23, because I really didn't have a chance to really listen through to that one. But I wanted to make sure this absolutely did not happen, because I wouldn't have felt happy about that video at all. I really hope that hasn't happened in another video. I typically watch through these before, in editing, I watch through them so that way I know some of the stuff that I said, and I can make sure that I'm taking notes and making sure that I do proper titles like I say in the video. But some of the days this week have just been very difficult to do that. They've gotten so late at night that it's man, I just want to get this video up. So that's kind of what happened here, and now I have to do posts. So as you see, all the enemies here are all green. We used Warrior 2 on everybody, but it really didn't do a whole lot of anything. They are technically weak to it. However, Warrior 2 is only 60 power, so some of these enemies just decided, you know what, we're going to soak up these attacks like it's no big deal. But thankfully the Megafauna enemy didn't like bring back their buddy, or they didn't raise the defense of anybody, so we're gonna go into Mountain Climber here. And hey, at least the bonus is you don't have to hear me huff and puff during Mountain Climber. Although I feels a lot more satisfying doing this. I could do this like again, I suppose. Like even in post commentary, just do the exercises alongside. I could. I don't think it would be right though. I already worked out today. I would just be doing the same thing again, and I don't know if that would be physically a smart idea. I mean, I think it's been about an hour, a little lot more than an hour since I actually recorded this now. After figuring out, I was trying to figure out a way to, you know, not have to do post commentary. If anyone's done a Let's Play out there, unless you're intending on doing post commentary, which sometimes there's a reason for. Unless you're intending on doing post commentary, it is never a good feeling to have to do post commentary, because you're waiting on cues to happen that just because like your live comment, it's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna remember everything unless you have a script. And a Let's Play, I don't have a script for doing. You know, it's just off the cuff. So I just kind of go by whatever. So now what I do remember here is I attempted an experiment here. And hopefully I can pay a little more attention here. So during this this day, I wanted to figure out what the powers of the attacks actually meant. So overhead arm spin has a power of 90. And Warrior 2 has a power of 60. Now, however, when you use an attack that has an advantage against an enemy, like a green attack on a green enemy, it does 50% extra damage to them than it does to other enemies of that type. So, like, say there was like a green bell dog and a red bell dog, and we were using this, if we were using overhead arm spin right now, we would be doing 50% extra damage to the red bell dog because you have the advantage. So what I was trying to figure out here is, does the 50% extra damage correlate to the attack stat of each of the skills, or is there something more at play here? Because in addition to not only having like the attack of the skills, us as the trainer have an actual attack stat too, so that could be somewhat relevant as well. So this is my experiment here to see if this had you know, any kind of ground to stand on. And guess what? I wasn't right. It would have been great though. It would have been a really great feeling. So we did 541 damage to the green bell dog. That's the enemy I was using, because I'm like, I know it'll survive both of these attacks, or at least it'll get pretty close. Now the Megafauna did raise defense, which did not help my calculations. However, we still ended up doing more damage even with the raised defense. So that way we know for sure that's not exactly how that works. I'm sure there is a math behind it. Maybe the attack stat is just added to the power of the move and then multiplied by 1.5. I don't know. I don't know why there's a bunch of math involved in this day of exercising, but I just really felt like I needed to know why doing this. So I came up inconclusive on. Well, I mean, like we figured out that no, I was wrong with how it worked in the moves, but I still don't exactly know like does it have to, if the attacks of the if the numbers of the attacks, like our skills, is it added to our overall attack stat? I know I'm jumbling over my words here. See, normally I don't get to talk this much because I'm breathing like crazy, and normally my sentences are just boiled down to, all right, I did this attack. All right, well, we got some story here, so we'll do this first. If only he was here. Oh, hello, you're that visitor from before, aren't you? You can see Solar Plexus Shrine just up ahead, but it's only accessible by following a specific path. The village priestess is the only one who knows the way, but reaching her will be a challenge in this rain. It sounds like we'll have to pay this priestess a visit if we plan on making it to Solar Plexus Shrine. I should also mention that the priestess has a son. He's the only one who can come and go freely from Solar Plexus Shrine. Alright, well, we got a little bit of backstory on this world a bit. But we'll go check out the shop here. No new clothes from Honey, so we can still rock the same duds from the last world. Hobby is just selling the crest smoothie, so like I said, we have the super crest one as well, which is a little bit better than that. And then he's also selling the apricot smoothies, which this is our switch skills to yellow. So the only one that we can't buy now is the yoga version, the green one. But I'm sure we'll get that pretty soon. And then also, because we haven't done it in a while, we should check out some of these menus. Like, just because there's a lot of stuff in here that I just haven't checked up on a while. So let's see some of the smoothies we can make. So we just got Crest and Super Crest. So like I said, Super Crest heals you a little bit more than regular. We also have Carrot Soup and Pumpkin Soup, which doubles our experience and money. We should probably make an experience one because I had to give it up for last world's request. Although, I can't remember actually doing this now, so something tells me this doesn't happen. We also got Raisin Milk here. So this is like an attack up for blue attacks and health recovery. A lot of smoothies that we'll get have like multiple effects. Like, you know, you have attack and defense power up. Or raise your attack power and switch your skills to that skill. So like prune smoothies like that. That just makes like all your attacks stronger basically. By doing that. It just makes everything stronger. So if you're fighting a bunch of blue enemies, you can just use that, and then all your skills are just stronger against those enemies. So those are really effective. Or if you're fighting even like colorless enemies, kind of the same deal really, just a power up for everything. Yeah, I definitely did not make that carrot soup, huh? Well, whoops, my bad. I'll remember to do that next time. And then I didn't really mean to go into here, but I was like, you know what? I probably should pick up another fit skill while I'm at it. So I decided to go with Pendulum Bend, because it is a move that hits multiple enemies and is a little stronger. We already have Leg Raise, which hits like one enemy pretty hard. And we have Overhead Hip Shake, which hits everybody, so I decided to go with the in-between there, you know, middle of the road damage and 3 enemies, so. And then I also decided to pick up Lucky Ab Guard. So now that we have this, anytime that we do an Ab Guard, so basically anytime we get attacked, we have a chance of just not taking damage now, which is pretty good. And then, in addition to that menu, we haven't really gone to this one in a while, which just kind of shows like your fitness stats and your difficulty and whatnot. But I kind of wanted just to check out the titles to see, like, if I had any of the exercise ones, like the fit skills, like more uses than, like 2 of one title. Like, see, like 200 and 1,000 knee lifts. Like, we don't have any double title for any of these poses yet. I thought Warrior 2 was it for a second, but it turns out we just got the first one for that. So, one advantage to playing this on a higher difficulty is you do a lot more reps of the exercises, which leads to unlocking those titles a lot faster. That's definitely like, I mean, obviously you have to, everything kind of takes longer at the same time, but that's definitely one advantage to playing on a higher difficulty. Alright, such heavy rain. Hard to see the road ahead. Monsters could be waiting anywhere. Even if I was ordered to, I don't know what I could make. I don't know that I could make it to the priestess under these conditions. Don't tell me you're planning on seeing the priestess. In order to reach her, you must collect 20 raindrops. As much as I'd love to go myself, I'm feeling a bit under the weather. If only someone else could go instead. Yikes, he's hinting pretty hard here. Sounds like the priestess is the only one who can tell us how to get to Drago. We have no choice but to pay her a visit. Alright, Talisman Trail. Now we have to collect 20 raindrops. There's no monster level here, meaning that this stage actually has no monsters in it. It is actually just a pure running level with whatever obstacles are in our way, but none of them will be monsters. Alright, hey Odin. That guy's a pretty bad liar. I feel like Ring was going to say more there, but I guess like getting to this water here prompted her to change her dialogue. And I laughed a lot about this when I was recording. I'm like, why'd she just accuse this guy of just being a liar? Like, she just, like, made this accusation, and that was it. Like, hey, you know, that guy's a pretty big liar. And that was it. There was nothing more to it than that. What reason did we have to, like, believe any of... Like, to believe what Ring said? It was just very out of place. I really have no idea. Like... Did the game not want us to run at full speed at the beginning of this level? Like, did it want me to walk or wait? Like, because typically I try and run at full speed, except, you know, mess up that jump right there, like, all the time. I think this is also the second time we've had to collect, like, random items in a level. These, like, purple exclamation mark gems. These are raindrops. Raindrop gems. They're just items. How are we collecting raindrops in the rain? How are we, like, collecting them? Like, obviously it's raining, so that makes sense. But how are they, like, like, so, like, focused in one spot? Like, they're just hovering. Does that make any sense? I don't really get how that works. I mean, that's the only thing I'm questioning about this game. Not that we have, like, magical powers or anything like that. No. My biggest problem with this game is that there's raindrops we gotta collect. And I didn't even see that this treasure chest was here at all. And we got a new recipe, apricot smoothie, or apricot? I think it's apricot. I didn't realize that we didn't actually have the recipe for that, because we saw it in the store, and we literally just checked our smoothies that we were able to make, but for some reason I decided to gloss over the fact that, yeah, we actually didn't have that yet, because we were picking up some apricots during this level before we even got the recipe there. And there's not a lot of room for error in this one either, eh? We needed 20 raindrops to beat the level, and we got 23, and I don't think I missed a single one. So there really wasn't much room for error at all here. So we did pretty good. We did pretty good on Talisman Trail here. Not too shabby. Alright, 1, 2, 3. We did it. We collected all the raindrops. Quick, let's take them to the priestess. You must be Odin. That's indeed us. Huh? How did you know Odin's name? Solar Plexia told me about you. Oh, of course she'd know about us. She's a goddess. This ceaseless rain is the very tears of Solar Plexia. It hasn't stopped since the beast took over her shrine. What's more, the entire land has been plagued by monsters. The situation is so dire that I'm unable to leave. Solar Plexia said you are the one who will save this village. Please, if I show you the hidden path to Solar Plexia's shrine, will you help rid her of that beast? Of course. Oh, I just remembered. What should we do with these raindrops? What? I have no idea what those are. You know, the raindrops. We were told we need to collect these to access the shrine. The hidden path that leads to Solar Plexia's shrine is open to all. I believe you have been deceived. It's not very hidden, though, if it's open to everybody, I guess, but... You know, she looks kind of similar to another character we've met. I'm sure there's no relation whatsoever. What? You mean that villager pretended to be sick lied to us? Huh? Well, at least we know about the hidden path. Good enough for me. Come on, let's go stop Drago. So this world didn't look very long, but hey, look, there's a lot more than meets the eye here. A bunch more levels, including a battle gym, which we will do, and that'll actually be the rest of today. And I wanted to show putting on Pendulum Bend because why not? Maybe I did edit this out. I don't even remember now, but whatever. I don't think I did. I think I was just kind of showing, hey, look, we got Pendulum Bend. Let's put that over Warrior 2. Why not? Alright, I mean, that didn't really take very long to do anyway. Whatever. This is post-commentary. I can talk through whatever. So, we have really terrible red skills. The only good one I have is overhead arm spin, still. But it makes sense to open with this skill and not use an attack that just hits one enemy. Because if we need this later in the fight, then it'll hopefully have recharged by then. We have lots of attacks that hit everybody, so that's not really a huge concern. But, you know, if we're like, man, I really wish we could use overhead arm spin right now, it's good to use this one first, and then use one of our single target attacks. Because typically, the attacks that hit everybody are just a lot more practical than using attacks that hit one enemy. Like, yeah, like I said, the attacks that hit one are usually stronger, but they also only hit one enemy. So, you know, it takes it kind of takes longer to do battle with those ones. That would be something I would like to see in a Ring Fit 2, where if you used attacks on, like maybe enemies like absorb certain elements. Elements, by the way, referring to the different fit skills as elements now, but I guess. Anyway, that would be cool. Like, say, like, if you hit an enemy with anything other than what its weak against, it like heals it instead, or like does like no damage whatsoever, like very minimal. There's lots of things I would love to see out of a Ring Fit too, just to improve the combat system of this game, because I think they nailed the exercise for this game. I really love going into this game and like playing it like to get exercise. It feels great. Here's our new pendulum activity, by the way. This one felt really weird to do, and I thought maybe like after the fact I was like maybe like my ring hitting the microphone cable had something to do with it, but this is 20 minutes in, so there's absolutely no way that's what happened, which led to me doing post commentary. But anyway, like I said, I would love to see improvements to the gameplay of Ring Fit itself. You don't really need to change much about the exercises. I imagine they would put new ones in, of course. You know, keep all the same ones. Don't replace any. I wouldn't replace any of them. I would just add more exercises to it. Why not, right? You know, add some more variety to it. Maybe even add different types of focus. Like, they have arm, legs, and stomach, but maybe they could break it down even further than that. They wouldn't have to do that, but they could do that if they wanted to. Like, break down those areas into, like, maybe, like, chest and abs, or, like, biceps and triceps, quads, glutes, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, they could do that if they wanted to. That would be a lot. But they could. Or they could just have, like, the yoga not be its own thing and kind of move those into the other three elements. And then you could maybe diversify it a bit more. I would also give enemies more attacks than just attack. Like, there are enemies in this that have, you know, some unique gimmicks to them. But, like, this Nautilus enemy, they're nothing. They're just another enemy. Like, they're... Like, the first time I saw this enemy, like, oh, cool, I wonder what they do. And it's like, oh, they just hit you. That's all they do. They do nothing to, like, hinder you at all. Like, this would be a neat enemy to, like, lower your stats or something. Like, they make your something weaker or anything. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many options that they could have gone that they just didn't, which I just think is just really weird. Because like I said, like I love playing this game. Like, it is fun. It's cool to play it, an RPG that gets you in shape. I just wish it was just a little more in depth. And I get that maybe they just wanted it to be more simple for anybody to pick up and play. But I think there's kind of a lot already going for it. Like, I don't think it really undermines the player at all. So I really don't see how they couldn't make, like, things that, like, poison you and do other weird things to you. Because, I mean, they have enemies that, like, you know, they heal each other, they raise stats. You have smoothies that can raise your stats, too. I don't think it's that crazy that they could make it just a little more in-depth as far as the combat goes. But we'll see. I really have hopes that they will make a Ring Fit 2. I can see them doing it because Ring Fit Adventure sold pretty well. And really, they would just have to sell it digitally. Like, Ring Fit sold well, and they only sell it physically. The reason that they don't sell it digitally is because you need the Ring-Con and the leg strap to play the game. Which makes sense, like, I get it. But, like, if they made Ring Fit Adventure 2, people that got the first one, like, they're gonna get the next one. I don't know if Wii Fit was like that. Like, because they put... On the Wii, they had Wii Fit and Wii Fit Plus. Honestly, I don't know how well Wii Fit Plus did, but I remember I played Wii Fit, and then I moved straight to Wii Fit U because I had a Wii U at that point. And I skipped Wii Fit Plus, but I remember going back and trying it just to see what it was like, because I was like, I wonder, like, you know, what kind of groundwork did this set for Wii Fit U, and it was, like, really impressive. Like, I was like, how was I even playing Wii Fit when Wii Fit Plus existed on the Wii? Like, I shouldn't even started with Wii Fit. I feel like I might have even had better workout habits now if I would have started with Wii Fit Plus, because they just added so much. There was some things I feel like that were in that like are not in Wii Fit U, that like just like they altered it differently enough that like I don't like it as much, because Wii Fit U really tries to work in like the Wii U gamepad, and I know we're not talking about Ring Fit at all anymore, but I'm just saying, like, I don't want them to take a step back for Ring Fit 2. Oh, and look, we finally got a new arm exercise. Our prayers have been answered. It's not the best thing ever, but it is better than overhead arm spin, vastly in power. It doesn't hit everybody. It hits 3 enemies, though. It's still pretty good. So it's about time we finally got a new red arm attack. We're probably going to have to invest more, honestly, onto the skill grid to get some better red attacks on there. Anyway, there's today's workout there. And guess what? We hit overhead arm spin 200 and 100 Warrior 2 pose, so we get that title. And we'll do our cooldown stretch. And we're done. Let's see the tip of the day. Tell me about vitamin B12. It may help the brain and nervous system. Vitamin B12 is similar to the other B vitamins and helps your body use protein. Vitamin B12 is also important to the production of red blood cells and the maintenance of your central nervous system. Animal proteins are the readiest sources of B12, especially organ meats and shellfish. Plant-based foods generally have to be fortified with it to be useful sources of B12. Well, there you go. There's your knowledge on vitamin B12. Now you know a whole lot more about it. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching this weird post-commentary version of Ring Fit Adventure. Hopefully I can get this uploaded and you can see it before like 10 p.m. tonight Eastern Time. But it really means a lot to have you around watching these. Now I'm going to have the weekend, thankfully, to kind of catch up and get a few of these recorded in advance for next week, because each of these have been recorded day of this week, so it's been kind of stressful getting all of these ready. Like today's Friday, it's going up on Friday. It's been the same case for every other video this week too, so I hope you can understand that it's just been kind of a little stressful doing that. But anyway, thank you so much for watching day 24, and I will see you next time for day 25. So until then, take care and goodbye.